So in today's Python video, I'm going to be showing you how to use classes and why you can use them. So we're going to make a basic tkinter application in which where we push a button and label up here. So I have a sample here. This is the sample code, and once I run this, you can see if I click this button, which says click to create label button element, it creates a label and a button. And when I click this button, it will say you click the button created using the class, but you can't really see that because I can't full screen this pop-up. So you can keep clicking this, and all of this will say the same thing. I click OK. So it's not really a useful application, but it is the stepping stones to classes, and this is the project that I was taught first when I got introduced to classes. So what we first want to do is start with our basic tkinter window. So I'm just going to do from tkinter import. You should already know how to do this. You should memorize it because we're going to use this in almost all of our Python tutorials because it's actually very cool and we can put GUI elements into a tkinter application. So yeah, you should probably memorize all of this code because it's not really hard to memorize. And the root.configure and different kinds of roots that I use are sometimes optional. Like the root.configure is optional. I just use it for the background. But I like giving the background, so I use it. And I always do the background royal blue because I like the color. So now I have to do root.geometry, which will give the size of the application. And yeah, root.mainly to close it all up. So what we want to put in the middle is we want to start out with a class. Now we're not going to put any GUI elements before the class because all of the GUI elements are going to be in the class, or most of them. So the ones that are going to be in the class are going to be here. I'll show you. They're going to be the ones that are going to pop up here. So yeah. You want to make a new class, and the way you make a class is similar to a function. It's just you just do class instead of def, and you want to do the name of the class, and you don't have to put the parentheses. Now, this will seem weird to you. We're gonna make a function, but it's gonna be called init, and we use init in a lot of you basically need to use init for classes, and I'll explain that in a later video because this is more advanced. So now we do self, and what self does, we can use self to basically we can use self in like any class, like we can use it in any function, any class, and basically you can use self like anywhere. So I'll be using self more than once. You don't just have to use it here, and yeah. So what I want to do in this init function is actually print this creates an element class. So that will be what we do for init. And now we're going to make a new function which will be called create new element, which is different from the create element because it's a class, is a whole class. This is just the function create element. So this is where we basically give the GUI components that we actually want to make when we click the button. It'll all seem more clear when we actually finish the code because what I'm talking right now may just sound gibberish to you. But here we use self again. As I said, you can use self in any class, any function. So here I use it in another function here. So after I do that, I have to, yeah, I did place a colon. So now we want to make the labels and the buttons because that's what's going to pop up. So you should already know how to make a label. I've talked about it in past videos. So it's actually very simple. I'll just do that, and then enable has been created using class. So that's just what I'm gonna write for now. You can write whatever you want. It's just a label. Um, but yeah. So I'm just gonna do label.pack. It'll basically pack the label, and I will also talk about pack in a future episode because it's a whole new thing, you know. So now I want to make a button because we're gonna make a label and a button as I've already showed you. So I'm just gonna call it BTN because I'm not gonna do any other button besides this too. So I don't have to name it anything like specific. So I'm just gonna do button is equal to button, and then root text. And then the text, I'm just gonna do like button. You could do like press me something. And then the command is equal to. We're still making the command, so yeah. We haven't finished making the command. So now we're gonna make a message. So you already know the message box that I made right here. This is the message box, and that's what we're gonna do now. So def message self. There's self again. This is the function for the message box. Making a message box is really easy. Next video will be on message boxes, but I'm just gonna do message box dot show info, and then you click the button created using the class. Okay, so we're done with the message box, and here we can do self.label. That will be the command, and yes, it doesn't just have to be a function, it can be self and then a function. So self.message, I believe, is the function that I did. Yes, message. So what objects are you in a class? There's always objects, and we can basically make different objects for the classes. So I'm just gonna do like uh, object create class, I guess. I'll just call it that. Is equal to create element, which is our class that we put here. That's our class, not functions, like an actual class. And then here comes the easy part. We just make up another button. I'll call it btn1 is equal to button root text is equal to click to create label button element, and then the command command will be equal to obj class or create class dot create new element. Oh, I typed that wrong. Okay, very big line. So you already know the object create class is this, and then create new element is this right here. And then we just have to pack the button. Btn pack pad x 20 pad y is equal to 10. And yeah, so pad x and pad y are just the padding. I didn't explain that, but it's just padding. It's actually very easy. So yeah. File not found. Let me just restart the kernel. Whenever you get unnecessary errors, like say like a TCL error or something, just restart the kernel. It'll help a lot. I keep getting that, so maybe I have to pack it here. Dot pack. I doubt this is the error though. I really do doubt it. This is the error. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'll just save it, I guess. I think that'll fix it. Yeah, there you go. So once you create this, it actually works. Um, I spelled message box wrong. No, that's not. Let me just spell it right. And yeah, there you go. It works. The application works. Um, So this is how you create a basic tkinter application with classes. We'll go further into classes. There's inheritance, there's polymorphism. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with classes, and it's actually really helpful for the future if you want to create like a big application. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe this video to your friends. Thank you.